Upbeat, quirky music starts and then fades to background. Hey there, cat parents and professional feline servants. Let's talk about a scene we all know too well. You come home after a long day. Maybe you were out with friends. Maybe you just worked a little late. You walk in and you see it. Your favourite vase, in a million pieces on the floor. And there, sitting in the middle of the wreckage, licking a paw without a care in the world, is your cat, staring right at you. Your first thought, he did that on purpose. He's mad at me for being late. Sound familiar? We've all been there, convinced our cats are tiny, furry, Machiavellian geniuses plotting our demise, one broken possession at a time. We think they're vengeful. But what if I told you that's completely wrong? What if your cat isn't broken? And they certainly don't hate you. Today, we're going to expose the great cat revenge lie. We'll uncover the shocking, hilarious and sometimes serious reasons for their bad behaviour. So before we start, pop down to the comments and tell me the name of your little furry hooligan. Let's do this! Alright, before we become cat detectives, we need to understand the suspect. A cat isn't a small, furry human in a onesie. They're tiny, domesticated predators who, frankly, only agree to this whole living with humans deal because the food is good and the naps are premium. Their brains are wired for a few key things: hunt, eat, groom, sleep, repeat. They are creatures of habit and territory. Their entire world, their safety, their sanity, revolves around their routine and their environment smelling and feeling right. They don't have a calendar to mark down the day you accidentally stepped on their tail. They don't have a diary where they write, "Dear diary, the big clumsy one gave me the cheap tuna today. Tomorrow the curtains shall pay." Their actions are almost always a reaction to something happening in their immediate present. So, let's put on our Sherlock Holmes hats and investigate the first big crime scene. Case file number 1. The unsolicited pillow present. Ah yes, the classic. You've either experienced this or you live in fear of it. You've scolded your cat, or came home late, or even just looked at them the wrong way, and bam! A puddle of pee on your brand new duvet. It feels like the ultimate insult, a direct personal attack on your sleeping space. It's so easy to scream, "Revenge!" and shake your fist at the sky. But hold on. To a cat, eliminating in a prominent, scent-heavy location, like your bed, isn't an act of war. It's often a desperate, flashing neon sign of a cry for help. They are trying to communicate something is deeply wrong in their world, and they're using the place that smells most like you, their source of safety and security, to get the message across. It's not about anger, it's about anxiety or pain. So let's look at the first suspect, their health. So what's the first thing you should do when your cat stages a dirty protest? Before you assume it's behavioural, you must rule out medical issues. Your first call should be to your veterinarian. Urinary tract infections, or UTIs, are incredibly common in cats and are extremely painful. Imagine trying to pee and feeling like you're passing tiny shards of glass. It's awful. Your cat might start associating that searing pain with their litter box. In their little cat brain, they think, "Every time I go in that sandy square of doom, it hurts. I'm not going in there anymore." So they seek out a soft, absorbent place that feels safe. And what's softer and safer than your bed? Other potential culprits include bladder stones, kidney disease, or even arthritis that makes it painful for them to climb into a high-sided litter box. This isn't revenge, it's a medical emergency sign. Okay, so you've been to the vet, and your cat has a clean bill of health. Congratulations, but the problem persists. What's next on our detective checklist? We need to investigate the scene of the primary crime, the litter box itself. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. Are you as diligent a housekeeper for their bathroom as you are for your own? Cats are ridiculously clean animals. Some are absolute neat freaks. If their litter box is even a little bit dirty, they might just say, "Nope, not today. I'm a pristine creature of elegance, and I will not set one precious paw in that wasteland." Think about it. Would you want to use a public restroom Where the toilet hasn't been flushed all day? Exactly. A good rule of thumb is to scoop the box at least once a day and to have one more litter box than you have cats. So one cat gets 2 boxes, 2 cats get 3, and so on. It gives them options, just like a king on his throne. Let's continue our litter box investigation. The plot thickens. Maybe the box is clean, but your cat still treats it like it's filled with lava. The next clue might be the box itself, or the litter inside it. Some cats are just picky. They're the Goldilocks of the animal kingdom. This litter is too dusty. This litter is too perfumed. This litter doesn't feel right on my delicate toe beans. Many cats hate scented litters. Their sense of smell is 14 times stronger than ours, so that fresh linen scent might feel like a chemical attack to them. Unscented, clumping clay litter is usually the gold standard. Also, consider the box. Is it covered? Some cats feel trapped in a covered box. Is it one of those fancy self-cleaning ones? The noise and movement can terrify a skittish cat into never using it again. Sometimes the simplest, most boring, open-top litter box is the key to happiness. Location, location, location. You wouldn't want your toilet in the middle of your kitchen during a dinner party, right? Well, your cat feels the same way. The placement of the litter box is critical. They need to feel safe and secure when they're doing their business. That's a vulnerable moment for any animal. So, if their litter box is in a high-traffic area, like the main hallway, or right next to a noisy washing machine that could rumble to life at any moment, they're going to feel exposed and stressed. This can lead them to seek out a quieter, more private location, like your closet. The ideal spot is a quiet, low-traffic corner with a good view of the room so they can't be snuck up on. Make their bathroom a peaceful sanctuary, not a chaotic war zone. As you can see, there are so many reasons for this behaviour that have nothing to do with getting back at you. Alright, let's move on to case file number 2, the furniture assassin. You just bought a beautiful new couch. It's your pride and joy. You leave the room for 5 minutes, and when you come back, your cat is using the armrest as their personal nail file. The rage is real. It feels like pure, unadulterated disrespect. They have a perfectly good, scratching post you spent $50 on. But no, they chose your $1,000 sofa. It has to be on purpose, right? They're just trying to destroy your happiness one thread at a time. But once again, we're applying human logic to a feline brain. For a cat, scratching isn't a naughty habit. It is a deep, primal, and absolutely essential need. It's as necessary to them as eating or sleeping. Punishing them for scratching is like punishing a bird for singing. It's confusing and stressful for them because they're just doing what nature hardwired them to do. So why is scratching so important? Let's break down the real reasons. Reason number 1 is all about communication and territory. A cat's paws contain scent glands. When they scratch a surface, they're not just leaving a visual mark, those shredded threads that make you cry. They're also depositing their unique scent. It's like leaving a little feline business card that says, "Kilroy was here. This couch belongs to me, the mighty Fluffy." It's a way of claiming their space and making their environment feel secure. When they scratch prominent items like the corner of a sofa that's right at the entrance of a room, they're essentially putting up a big, scented billboard for any other cats, animals, or even people, letting them know who's boss. It's not destruction in their eyes. It's interior design and home security all in one. Beyond marking territory, scratching serves a crucial physical purpose. Think of it as kitty yoga and a manicure combined. When a cat reaches up high and pulls down on a surface, they get a full body stretch through their back, shoulders and legs. It feels amazing and keeps them limber. Essential for a creature built for sudden bursts of acrobatic energy, it also helps them maintain their claws. Scratching removes the dead outer layer of their nails, a process called shedding the claw sheath, which keeps their primary defense tools sharp and healthy. So when you see them going to town on your door frame, they're not thinking, "I will ruin this beautiful woodwork." They're thinking, "Ooh, that's a good stretch. And look, my nails are fabulous now. It's all about self-care for them, not about destroying your stuff. So how do you stop the furniture assassin without declaring war? You don't stop the behaviour, you redirect it. The key is to provide scratching surfaces that are way more awesome than your couch. The reason they ignore that flimsy little scratching post in the corner is because it's, well, flimsy. Cats want a sturdy tall post that won't wobble when they put their full weight on it. A good scratching post should be tall enough for a full stretch and made of a satisfying material like sisal rope. Location is also key. Place the good scratching posts right next to the furniture they're currently targeting. Make the couch a less attractive option by using double-sided sticky tape or citrus sprays on it, which cats dislike. Then, praise them and give them treats every time they use the post. You're teaching them, scratching here is awesome and gets me snacks. Scratching there is boring and sticky. It's positive reinforcement, not punishment. Let's open our final investigation. Case file number 3, the gravity tester. This one is a fan favourite. Your cat, sitting on a shelf, a table, or a mantelpiece. They make direct, unblinking eye contact with you. Slowly, deliberately, they reach out a single paw and push your car keys, a pen, or your priceless glass figurine off the edge. It clatters to the floor. The cat looks at you, blinks slowly, and you are 100% convinced you are living with a tiny furry sociopath. This feels like the most calculated passive-aggressive move in the history of the world. It screams, I am in charge. I am the god of this house. And I am bored. And you know what? On that last point, you're not entirely wrong. This behaviour isn't about revenge, but it is often about getting a reaction. And that reaction is usually rooted in one of two things. The first major reason your cat is a budding physicist, exploring the laws of gravity. They're bored out of their tiny minds, and they want your attention. Cats are smart. They learn cause and effect very quickly. They've discovered a magic button that makes the big, clumsy food provider stop what they're doing and immediately interact with them. That button is pushing your stuff off the table. They knock something over, you jump up and say, "No, Fluffy, no!" To you, that's a scolding. To your cat, who was just sitting there watching paint dry, it's a victory. You looked at them. You spoke to them. You engage with them. Mission accomplished. They don't differentiate between good attention and bad attention. To them, attention is attention. So if they feel neglected, they'll push the magic button to make you play the pick things up game with them. It's a surefire way to get you to notice them. The second reason for this gravity-defying behaviour is much simpler. It's fun. It taps directly into their predatory instinct. In the wild, a cat would bat at and play with its prey. A small, lightweight object on a flat surface is basically a toy just waiting to be played with. They're curious. What happens if I touch this? Ooh, it moved. What happens if I touch it again? Whoa, it fell and made a cool noise. For them, it's a science experiment and a game rolled into one. They are exploring their environment with their paws. Their paws are incredibly sensitive, packed with nerve receptors, and it's one of the primary ways they gather information about the world around them. So when they're patting your lipstick off the vanity, they aren't trying to make you mad. They're just being a cat, satisfying their innate curiosity and hunting instincts in the only way they know how within your home. So, what's the solution to living with a furry Sir Isaac Newton? You need to beat them at their own game. If the cause is boredom and attention-seeking, the cure is more playtime and enrichment. You need to provide them with better, more interesting things to do than redecorating your floor with the contents of your desk. Engage them with dedicated interactive play sessions every day. Use wand toys, laser pointers, safely of course, or puzzle feeders. This burns off their excess energy and satisfies their hunting drive. You can also enrich their environment. Put up a bird feeder outside a window, get them a cat tree so they can climb, or rotate their toys so they don't get bored. A tired cat is a happy cat, and a happy cat is far less likely to seek your attention by committing acts of domestic terrorism against your favourite mug. Now for a really confusing one. Let's call it the post-vacation snub. You've been away for a week. You missed your cat terribly. You walk in the door, ready for purrs and cuddles, and instead, your cat hisses at you, or runs and hides, or worse, completely ignores you like you're a stranger. It hurts! It feels like they're punishing you for leaving. How dare you abandon me, human? Now you shall feel the sting of my silent contempt. You might even see them peeing on your luggage. That feels like a direct message, doesn't it? You smell of betrayal and another land, and I shall cover it with the scent of my disappointment. It's easy to interpret this as a cold, calculated act of revenge for your absence. But as always, the feline reality is rooted in something much more primal and far less personal: stress and scent. Let's get inside that furry little head. The number one reason for the post-vacation cold shoulder is simple. You smell wrong. A cat's entire world is built on scent. Their home, their people, everything has a familiar, communal scent that makes them feel safe. When you go on a trip, you come back covered in a million new, strange and potentially threatening smells. You smell like the airplane, the hotel, other people, other animals. To your cat, you are a walking collection of alien invaders. You don't smell like family anymore. Their reaction, hissing, hiding or avoiding you, isn't hatred. It's fear and confusion. They're thinking, who is this strange-smelling giant that looks like my human? Is it a threat? They need time to process these new smells and for your familiar home scent to return. It's a defensive measure, not a punishment. On top of the scent invasion, your absence was a major disruption to their routine. Remember how we said cats are creatures of habit? Your leaving and returning is a huge upheaval. Their feeding schedule might have changed slightly. The house was quieter. The person who usually cleans the litter box was different. This all creates stress and anxiety. When you return, the environment changes. Again. So that cat who is ignoring you is likely just overwhelmed and trying to recalibrate. The peeing on the luggage. That's actually an act of trying to fix the problem, not make it worse. They are covering all those weird foreign smells with their own powerful scent. In their mind, they are saying, this scary smelling bag needs to smell like me, like home, so things can be safe again. They are scent-soaking to reduce their own anxiety, not to spite you. So how do you survive the re-entry process after a trip? Patience is key. Don't force interactions. When you get home, drop your bags by the door and go sit on the floor somewhere, quietly. Let the cat approach you on their own terms. Don't try to immediately scoop them up for a hug. You can offer a hand to sniff. Speak to them in a calm, gentle voice. A great trick is to take off the clothes you travelled in, put on some comfy clothes that have been in the house, and maybe even rub a blanket they sleep on all over your legs. This helps you smell like you again. This process of reacclimation shows them you're not a threat and allows them to get used to you being back in their space. It respects their nature and helps rebuild that feeling of safety and trust, much faster than demanding cuddles from a stressed-out animal. This brings us to the core concept that debunks the entire revenge myth. Cats live almost entirely in the present moment. Their brains aren't equipped for long-term, premeditated plotting. The ability to feel vengeful requires a complex set of cognitive skills. You have to remember a past wrong, understand the intent behind it, identify the perpetrator, formulate a plan for retribution, and then execute that plan at a later time to cause emotional distress. That's some serious soap opera level thinking. A cat's brain just doesn't work that way. When a cat acts out, it's a reaction to a current stimulus. A dirty litter box, a painful feeling, a scary noise, a feeling of boredom, or a surge of anxiety. They aren't thinking about what you did yesterday. They are thinking, something is wrong right now and I need to fix it. So if it's not revenge, what is it? It's all about associative learning. Cats are brilliant at connecting an action with an immediate consequence. This is different from revenge. For example, if your cat jumps on the kitchen counter and you immediately spray them with a water bottle, they don't think, My human is punishing me for being on the counter. They think, this specific spot on the planet called counter sometimes attacks me with water. I should avoid this spot. They associate the place with the unpleasant experience. The reverse is also true. They associate the sound of a can opener with food, or your lap with a warm, safe place to nap. But the key is that the association has to be immediate. If you come home, find a mess your cat made hours ago, and then yell at them, they have no idea why you're mad. They can't connect your current anger with their past action. All they learn is that sometimes, for no reason, their human is a scary, loud monster. So, let's put it all together. Your cat isn't a tiny villain, a fluffy supercriminal, or a spiteful roommate who leaves passive-aggressive notes written in P. Your cat is a creature of instinct, habit, and immediate need. Their bad behaviours are not acts of revenge, they are forms of communication. They are signals that something in their world is out of balance. It could be their health, their environment, or their emotional state. Our job as their guardians isn't to punish them for these signals, but to become cat detectives. We need to look for the clues, check the litter box, observe their body language, assess their environment for stressors. Are they bored? Are they in pain? Are they scared? When we stop seeing revenge and start seeing communication, we can solve the real problem, and in the process, build a stronger, happier, and more trusting bond with our magnificent, mysterious, and often misunderstood feline friends. Music swells slightly. So, there you have it. The next time your cat sends your favourite pen flying, you'll know it's not malice. It's probably just a cry for a play session. And if you find a surprise outside the litter box, you'll know to call the vet before you call them a little monster. You now know that what goes on in that adorable fluffy head is much more about instinct and immediate needs than any kind of evil plan. Yes, they might still shred that one specific corner of the armchair. And yes, they will definitely continue to scream for breakfast at 5 a.m. like they've never been fed in their life. But through it all, we love them. We love their quirks, their weirdness, and their chaotic energy, because they make our houses a home. If you learned something new about your furry overlord today, please give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive into the feline world. And be sure to share this with any friend who is convinced their cat is plotting against them. For my final question, what is the weirdest thing your cat does that you now realise probably isn't revenge? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and give your little troublemaker a chin scratch from me. Bye for now.